G'day guys, Elvin Pyle here from Adventuring Pals. In this video I'm going to be installing some Rhino racks that I've just put on my ute. Now the install took me about 3 hours or so, but that's going really slow. I had the kids distracting me and I had to keep walking from our cabin here to our caravan, which is a couple of 100 meters away, to get tools. But I think if you just have all your tools ready and give it a good crack, it probably should be done in about an hour and a half, definitely under 2 hours. It's a really easy install. Save yourself the labor cost of the workshop and do it yourself. Let's get right into it. Just a quick disclaimer before we get into it. I have no affiliation with Rhino and I'm not a professional fitter. I'm just making a video of my install in case someone's stuck. They can watch this, get some ideas. If you need professional advice, seek the instruction manual or ask a professional about it. Thank you. Right guys, so I'm just going to go through the parts that I'm using. Using a universal base kit, which is a RCP47 BK. 2 of the locking leg kits, which is the RCH4. 2 of those, and then the bars that I'm using is the VA126B. These are the ones with the overhang on them. I prefer that to the flush mount ones anyway. I don't really know if these are the right parts, but I guess I'll find out as I go. I know at least the base kit is the right one because it actually says there it's for Mitshubishi Triton. Alright, let's get to the next step. So first things first, it's always a good idea to, as you unpack one thing, grab the instructions and see what should be in the kit and make sure everything is there, which I've done. Kept the loose bolts all in the packet, chuck it in there so I don't lose it. And then we'll go and read the instructions first and then we'll start doing it. Okay, so the first one should assemble these bases. So that's the rubber base. I think it doesn't looks like it doesn't matter which way it goes. And this bit here, once again, doesn't matter which way it goes. Sits on there and just clips in together. And then the tabs go into here. And then the top part, which once again doesn't really look like it matters which way it goes here, but once it goes in the car, it'll be, you can see that the hole goes on the outside, and then the legs will go in there like that. Right, just getting ahead of myself here, but I just wanted to check out. So it looks like that'll go onto the ditch bit. The feet, which is a separate part, they'll fit into there nicely like that and bolt down through there once you take this cover off. And then they also gave me some wedges, which I assume will go into the front to make it all level when it's in. So that wedges just go on top of the assembly we made and between the legs, so just to level it out. Well, we'll get to that bit a bit further on, but just wanted to make sure it all fits together first. Okay, so now we've got to measure the strip, the plastic strip that covers the drain, and drill out the holes that's going to go through the leg, through the foot, and into the bolt, which is pre-existing in the Mitshubishi Triton roof. Let's go. Okay, so to get the strip from the top of the ditch out, apparently you just got to pull it. There you go, pretty easy. There's a little clip right at the front, so that might take a little bit of pressure, and then just lift it up. And I quickly measured 330 mils, which just shows in the instructions. You can do that once you're taking it off. I just wanted to put a mark on it, just to make sure that the hole on the roof is, or the bolt on the roof is roughly where the mark is, and it looks like it's bang on. So I'll take this off, and then we'll measure the rest of it out. Pretty easy. Thought I would just show you the nuts here in the roof. You can see that threaded nut there, one at the front, one at the back, on either side. And the other thing I did is I just marked the strip with an F for the front, so I know which way it goes. I don't think it matters, but just in case. Alright guys, so I've just measured one of them out. 330 for the front hole, 1133 to the back hole. That's from the front edge of the strip. And then if you want to double check it from center to center of the 2 holes, it should be 803. So that it is, pretty close. And then now it says to drill a 3 mil pilot hole and then an 11 mil hole, and then a Dremel to, I guess, deburr it, or make it all nice and smooth. I haven't got a Dremel, but I'll drill the holes out and see how it goes. I might just cut around with a knife. It's only plastic, it's only rubber. Alright guys, just before I drill that out, I'm gonna put these bolt things into where they go in the roof. Now, there's no instructions, doesn't tell you if you're supposed to tighten it up with a tool or anything like that. They've got finger grip turnbuckles here type thing, knurled, that's what they call them. They've got the knurled tips here, so I guess that finger tight might be alright, because then when you put the bolt in, after you put the plastic strip in and put the foot down, the bolt might tighten it up to where you need it. I just put them in so that I can put the strip there next to it, make sure the lines are where they need to be. Even though the measurements are there, it's just a double checking for myself. And then go ahead and drill it out, eh? Alright, so I put the plastic strip down, lined it up with the front, just making sure where I've marked the holes to be drilled, them line up with the bolt there, and they do. So I'm just going to go ahead and drill them now. I think my drill bit is just pretty blunt, that's all. Now guys, I haven't got a 11mm drill bit like they asked for, so I've got a 10mm, and that looks like it's going to be plenty enough anyway. Let's see how I go. Okay guys, so it makes it really awkward because there's a bit of a ridge there, and that is there's a metal strip inside that rubber there to give it rigidity, and because it's in the middle and you're trying and drill in the middle and it's rubber, the drill bit sort of nicks to one side like that. So really I think what I should be doing is snipping that bit of the metal out there with some tin snips, and see if that makes it any easier to drill a bit more accurately, because that bolt is obviously not going to go through there anyway. I'll try that and see how it goes. So I couldn't find tin snips, but I got some side cutters and cut it out. Hopefully that makes it a bit neater and easier to drill, because I struggled drilling. So with that, I didn't realise that metal reinforcing was in there. Maybe that's why they want you to use a Dremel, but like I said, I haven't got one. What I'll do is because it's a bit how you're going there, I'm just going to cut the hole out a little bit more with my Stanley knife. You don't really have to be too neat here, because the whole bit gets covered by the foot. She's a bit how you're going, but we'll see how she goes up there, eh? Let's go. Okay guys, so I just did one side before I drilled the other one. Lucky I did, because the holes don't actually go in the center. You'll have to measure where the hole is. You have to measure where the hole is in the roof, because
yeah, look at this hole.
So on my roof I've just measured it, and it's 13mm in from the inside edge, roughly. So yeah, that's why it didn't fit that well before. Anyways, here we go. Measure it out again. Lucky, that's why I only did one side first before I drilled them both out. That was a lot smoother after I took that reinforcing out. Both of these slide in, so the front will slide in like that, and the back will push in like that. So put the front in first. All right. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna get these legs ready, and then what we need is the square big nut on the top side, and then the hex bolt with the spring washer and the flat washer. Just put it through there and just get it ready to slide into the bars, just like that. Do the 12-4. Okay guys, so for this one, they don't actually tell me the measurements. Some of the other racks I've done, they give you the measurements to cut the strips down. I've got nothing like that on this one. So just a matter of putting it on and getting a rough idea of what it's like, getting the overhangs right. Pretty easy. That nut slides into the channel there. Pretty easy. They've got the grooves there that slide into the channel, so you can only get it the right way, which is top and bottom. And then that channel nut fits into the groove in there. Now I've just gone ahead and measured my bolts where they're sticking out, and I've got 1075 for the front and 995 for the back. So I'm just going to get it roughly there with the overhangs equal on the ground here, because up there can be a bit fiddly. Do that and then we'll chuck it up there and see what it looks like. Okay, so I've got the fronts roughly about right, and when you get the wedge kit, which I'm using for the front to space out the front of it a bit, you get longer bolts because there's obviously the wedge is a bit of a spacer. So I'm going to go and chuck it up there, fiddle around with it a bit and see how it goes. Alright guys, so I've just popped that on there. That bolt went straight through with the spring washer and flat washer there. Bring it in closer, eh? Yeah, bolt went through with the spring washer, flat washer, threw all that footwork into the nut thing I put in there before. I'll do the same to the other side, then start measuring it all out. It's all very loose right now, but I've just got it in there so it's, you know, it's not going to fall out. Put the towel down there to protect the roof a bit, see how it goes. Just quickly guys, so if you're looking at the top of the foot, you got a flat side and a curved side out, flat side in, whack it on. So as you can see, I'm a bit out, so I just got to push that in. It's all loose, so I can push it in where I want it. Alright, now get the bolt in there. Last one to go now. Just noticed the bars are actually a bit different. The one is like powder coated the whole way through. The other one is only powder coated on the outside, so the inside and the underside is still raw. Probably just upgraded design, I'd say. Okay, so now that everything is in finger tight, I'm just going to measure, make sure the overhangs are the same. Now, I don't see any reason why you couldn't have overhang further on one side than the other. Like if you're having an awning and you want to step it out from the car a bit, you could probably adjust that gap so it's a bit closer, a bit shorter on one side and hanging out a bit further on the other side. As long as you get them so they, you know, the edges are lined up, shouldn't be a drama as far as I can see anyway. But once again, I've got no affiliation with Rhino, so that's just my thoughts on it. Can't even believe it, I got it right the first time. That's 1 meter, 100 mil on the front and 143 in the back. Alright, so now it's time to tighten everything down. 10 mil socket is a bit too high for my socket set anyway. But luckily I got a ring spanner, a ratchet ring spanner. It's going to go and tighten down the feet first, and then the hard bit is going to be getting the Allen key and tightening down the crossbar. So I tightened the feet down. Supposed to be 3 to 4 Newton meters of torque. I have no idea. I haven't got a torque meter. So, anyways, I just did it so it's nice and tight. Now I'm going to go and tie the do the reef bars up. So the old Allen key was really awkward to get in there and do it. It's going to take me forever. So I've just got a Allen key and my little 1/4 inch socket set, and that's working really good to tighten it up. Yeah, that little setup works a treat, hey? It's really handy to get in that tight spot. Now that I've tightened the bars down to the feet, I can feel a little bit of movement, which means it's the feet itself. So I'm just going around tightening that up a bit more. And what I might do is I might pop into one of the workshops, maybe TJM where I bought these bars from, and see if they can lend me a torque wrench just to torque it up to the right specs. Okay, now that it's all secured down nice and firm, pretty happy with that. Just got to put these little strips in at the top. Now these do actually prevent a lot of wind noise from my experience. So yeah, they just slide into the little slot on the top, pretty easy. Righto, so now that the strips are in, they're good for grip for when you're tying things down, and also help a lot in wind noise, like I said. All we've got to do is put the security bits in so that no one can steal them. So we've got these that go on the actual bars. This is the way it goes. It's the lock on top, and then the other bit's pretty self-explanatory. Just goes in, you get a key, lock it up, she's good to go. Alright guys, that's it, all done, looking pretty good. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go and get these bolts torqued out by one of the workshops just to use their torque wrench. 3 to 4 Newton meters what they need to be. And then I'm gonna mount an awning onto it as well. So if you're interested in that, subscribe to the channel so you can check out that video when I put it up. Anyways guys, thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you liked it, if you think you got some information out of it, give it a thumbs up and that'll let me know that you guys are enjoying our content. Thank you very much and we'll catch you in the next one.